What's good, YouTube, Facebook, Google Plus? We back again. This is gonna be the last What's Hot segment of the night, and what's hot right now? Andy Lee loses his WBO title by majority decision to Billy Joe Saunders. Now, this is the crazy part, and I said this. Now, I won't be afraid, you know, to say who I picked. We didn't do a prediction video for this fight. That's our bad. But I had Andy Lee winning the fight prior to this fight. I had him picked by decision. The talks that people were putting this guy's name, or the people that they're synonymously having his name with, Triple G, Daniel Jacobs, possible Peter Quillen matchup, rematch. I was basically stating, right? I said this on Facebook. I said Andy Lee needs to beat Billy Joe Saunders convincingly, all right, for us to even take him seriously in a match with Triple G or Daniel Jacobs. There's no way you can just squeeze by this type of fighter and be ready for a Triple G or Daniel Jacobs, because in all honesty, Daniel Jacobs or Triple G would annihilate this motherfucker.
Easy work.
Right? And I'm not just saying it because y'all may think that I just saw Billy Joe Saunders fight tonight. Be real with you, I only saw highlights of the fight. I saw Billy Joe Saunders fight 4 fights prior to this. I actually watched him fight Chris Eubank Jr. live. All right. The main problem that I have with Billy Joe Saunders, and I didn't even see all of this fight, like I said, but I already know what happened. He's a 6-round fighter. He gasses after 6. Okay. And when he gasses after 6, his opponent comes in and takes the majority of the latter half of the fight. That's exactly what happened against Chris Eubank Jr. That's what happens in almost all of his fucking fights. If you fight like that against a Gennady Golovkin, you will be KO'd. If you fight like that against the Danny Jacobs we saw against Peter Quillen, you will be KO'd. Alright? So, exactly. So I'm going to pass to my man Seth, who actually did watch the entire fight, not just the highlights. Yeah. What do you think, D?
Ah, man. Like you said, I seen the entire fight, man. Unimpressed with both guys. They both look like shit if you ask me. Yeah. But I will say this. I thought it was a bullshit decision. I felt the fight could have been a draw, or Andy Lee should have won the fight. Reason being, after the 2 knockdowns that Billy Joe Saunders scored, he didn't do nothing. He didn't do anything. He sort of tapered off, and he couldn't put anything else together outside of that power shot. Those power shots that he landed, he had nothing else. I mean, there was really no wide variety of punches. Both guys were head hunting. And from that, and let me tell you guys this: when you knock a fighter down twice and he gets up, from that point on, it's your job. Especially when he's the champion. From that point on, it's your job to solidify that victory. Because you just dropped him. So you're up on the scorecards. Right. All you gotta do is go ahead on and put this shit in the bank, and you walk home with no problems, no controversy.
Let me ask, did he gas out?
Yes, he got tired. He got tired. Okay. His output drastically dropped, and there were at least 2 rounds where I don't think Billy Joe Saunders really threw any punches.
Damn.
He was too busy going backwards, and he was too busy trying to counter Andy Lee. Now, I will say this. Andy Lee is basically known for having a counter right hook. He's not necessarily known for being this great boxer or, you know, anything of that nature. Yeah. Andy Lee actually pisses me off because he's so tall and he's so long, and he doesn't really use the attributes that he has.
Yep.
In this fight, it broke down to a battle of the jabs. Neither one of I'm not sure about Billy Joe Saunders, but Andy Lee doesn't really have a jab. He's not known for actually pecking you to death with the jab and coming behind it and setting up combinations off of it. So what this fight turned into was 2 guys that couldn't land a power shot, so they actually had to resort to throwing the jab because it was the only shot that they could land. And that's basically what it was. Andy Lee was chasing Billy Joe Saunders around the ring, solely throwing jabs at him. The whole fucking fight. Really? He just was solely throwing jabs. He probably threw a left hand in there every now and then. He tried for the right hook, but we both know his right hook isn't money unless he's countering you.
Right.
So it was to me, it was a very, outside of knockdowns, it was a very uneventful fight. The fight didn't live up to the hype that a lot of people put on it.
Oh, I knew that.
Exactly.
That's why I went Christmas shopping instead. You know
yep, there we go. Exactly. I should have went Christmas shopping instead. You know, I waited to finish that fight, but still, man, uneventful fight. I did think that Andy Lee did enough to win, though. He's the champion, and with Billy Joe Saunders knocking him down twice, he should have went in there and took the champion's title. Right. You knock the man down early, you gotta finish him late.
Yeah.
That's just what it is. And he didn't do that. So if they have a rematch, I probably won't watch it this time around. But if they, I do think that decision warrants a rematch. Like I said, man, but Andy Lee needs to find an identity outside the ring instead of that counter right hook.
Right.
Okay? It takes too much to set a shot like that up. A lot of times, let's go back and look at when Andy Lee landed that right hook. He landed on, who was it, Julian Williams or Julian Jackson's son?
Julian Jackson Jr. or some shit.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay. When he landed it on him, and then when he landed that shot on Matt Korobov,
yeah,
they were both in the mindset of disrespecting Andy Lee. Matt Korobov, you could tell Korobov knew that he was going to get Andy Lee out of there. He really didn't respect him that much. And Korobov, just overextended himself on a shot, got caught, pulling back, boom, right hook knocked him out. Julian Jackson Jr. was actually walking into Andy Lee because I believe he had hurt him before he knocked him out.
Yeah, he hit him. I can't remember what punch it was, but he hit him with a punch off the ropes.
Yeah.
And Andy Lee was hurt.
Yep.
That's exactly what happened.
Yep. So that's where a shot like that comes from when a guy like Andy Lee is throwing it. He's either throwing it because the guy in front of him thinks he has him hurt, or the guy in front of him thinks that he's really, that he probably not taking him too serious. Mm-hmm. And he puts you to sleep. Kudos on his behalf, but get away from that thinking, man. He needs to have more of a variety in order for him to be in order for him to be really successful. Gennady Golovkin would kill him.
Oh,
he
man.
would smash him.
But I knew this from the get-go. I remember...
absolutely.
I can't remember what fight me and my fiance were watching, man, but we had streamed it on Box Nation or whatnot. And Andy Lee was it was fucking Golovkin and Daniel Gill. Andy Lee was the guest speaker in their studio, and this motherfucker was like, yeah, I know I'm ready for a Golovkin fight. Just a matter of time before they set that fight. I was telling my fiance, I was like, yo, this nigga would get killed by Gennady Golovkin. I was saying that way back when. I think that Andy Lee fight, the Golovkin-Gill fight was 2014, right? Early 2014. I was saying it way back then that Andy Lee gets killed by Golovkin. You know what I'm saying? And he is the exact same fighter he was from then to now. He's the exact same fighter. I want to piggyback on what you said. What Andy Lee does, he likes to do this same shit that Klitschko does with his jab and hand.
He did that. He actually did that in the fight.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't even watch the fight. I know what these motherfuckers are gonna do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why, like I said, I went Christmas shopping instead. It was a fight that I didn't want to see based on Andy Lee's performance against Peter Quillen and Billy Joe Saunders' performance against Chris Eubank Jr. I wasn't interested in the fight. You know what I'm saying? So the crazy thing is this, and this will be the last point I make before we move to the next topic. Billy Joe Saunders seems to me that he is going to do what Kell Brook is doing with his IBF title, all right, in the welterweight division. Now that Billy Joe Saunders is the WBO champion, he is not calling out Daniel Jacobs. or Gennady Golovkin, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's calling out Chris Eubank Jr.
Oh my goodness.
This motherfucker said he wants to give Chris Eubank Jr. a rematch. Billy Joe, come here, bro. Come here, bro.
Yeah. Sit him down, talk to him. 2K.
You don't call out a motherfucker you already beat as a prospect, motherfucker, after winning the WBO title. Do you understand that? You just won one of the 4 major sanctioning bodies, B. You don't call out a guy you beat as a prospect. Do you understand that? You gotta start fighting the Gennady Golovkins.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? The fucking Peter Quillins. Even though he just got knocked out, but he's a step ahead of fucking Chris Eubank Jr. You know what I'm saying? Daniel Jacobs. You need to be fighting those guys. Try to get Leon Smith. He's a fucking fellow countryman with a 160-pound title. Try to get him. Why are you calling out a guy you already beat as a fucking prospect? Unacceptable, B. And it sounds like to me you're going to try to hoard that title like Kell Brook is doing.
Absolutely.
Fuck that. We need to call that out now, and we need to make that shit relevant, that we all know what the fuck he's really going to try to do.
Yep.
Next topic, and this will be the last for this segment, last for the night. My man Keith Thurman has come out of hiding. Yeah, exactly. What? I did the same shit. My man released a tweet talking about he's going to announce some beautiful shit for us pretty soon. But I already know what the fuck he might say. Apparently the Sean Porter Keith Thurman fight is on the horizon. It's not being, it's being postponed. Probably due to money issues. We still don't know the specifics on that. But they do have 2 dates possibly locked down. February 17th.
Okay.
Right? I'm sorry, February 13th, excuse me, and February 27th. So those, of course, are 2 Saturdays. So that's when these guys might fight. I just watched the interview. Shout out to my man Bernard Mukes. I believe he's the one that put it up there. I watched the interview with Keith Thurman and another guy. I don't know who the fucking guy is, you know what I'm saying? But he basically asked Keith, at 147, who do you think you can fight, or who would give you a good fight in that division? And my man, this is 147 now, people. My man named Kell Brook, 147. He named Amir Khan. I don't know why the fuck he named Amir Khan. He's, not really the elite. Anyway. And he named Adrian Broner. And he's like, Adrian Broner, first he said he's looking at the undefeated fighters. But then he named Amir Khan and Adrian Broner. First of all, these niggas not undefeated. Secondly, Adrian Broner's not even at 147. He's a 140-pound WBA champion. So the reporter, being a good reporter that he is, covering boxing, called him out and said, well, we was actually hoping you would name Sean Porter.
Oh, that's the other guy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's a good fight. I like that fight, too. Come on, Keith.
What the fuck? Come on, Keith. So, hopefully this fight is made, people. Like I said, it's still on the horizon. It's not completely dismissed as of late. I just don't like Keith Thurman's attitude with that reporter. just dismiss Sean Porter's name as if he's not even a guy that they're even looking at, man. Wow.
I mean, that shit was crazy. Anything you want to add to that, B, before we end it?
Nah, man, I agree 100%, man. I just want to see the fight. That's all. All we want is the fight. Make it happen. I don't care what Saturday they do it on. Fuck it. As long,
I can fight on Sunday or Friday, shit.
Yep, exactly.
Man, just give me a time and where the fucking fight gonna be shown at. I'm gonna watch it.
Exactly.
Real talk. Alright, YouTube. That's gonna be it for tonight. Do what you do. In the comment section, be real. This is real talk for real fans. 1.